A U.S. software company has filed a $2.2 billion lawsuit against the Chinese government. California-based CyberSitter accuses Beijing of stealing its technology to use in internet filtering software. Along with the government, it is suing 2 Chinese companies and 7 PC manufacturers. CyberSitter was created to help parents filter content seen by children. The suit alleges that the Chinese makers of the Green Dam Youth Escort program illegally copied more than 3,000 lines of code from CyberSitter's filtering software. And it says they conspired with China's government and computer manufacturers to distribute more than 56 million copies of the pirated software. Green Dam made headlines when the Chinese government ordered all computer manufacturers to bundle the software with any computer sold in China after July 1st last year. China's food quality inspectors are again under fire, this time for possibly covering up a tainted milk case for almost a year. Last week, the Shanghai Panda Dairy was closed and 3 executives arrested for selling dairy products a year ago that were tainted with the toxic chemical melamine. It's now emerged that local authorities discovered the contamination at the end of 2008, meaning the information was kept from the public for almost a year. But a senior official from the country's top quality agency yesterday insisted the case was an individual one and has nothing to do with the massive milk scandal in 2008, in which 6 babies were killed and about 300,000 were sickened. The number of miners killed in a fire at a colliery in central China has risen to 25. 3 others still remain trapped. The latest accident to hit China's mining industry occurred in Jiangtan County in Hunan Province on Tuesday afternoon. The fire is thought to have started when underground cables caught fire. 43 miners who were underground at the time the fire broke out managed to escape. The owner of the mine and a senior employee have been detained. China's UN ambassador has said the country will not support a 4th round of UN sanctions against Iran over its nuclear program. Chang Ye-sui says the issue required more time and patience. He added that it was not the right time for sanctions as diplomatic efforts were still underway. Senior foreign ministry officials from China, Russia, the U.S., Britain, France, and Germany are to meet later this month to discuss Iran's nuclear activities. Tehran already has been hit with 3 rounds of UN sanctions for refusing to comply with demands that it halt sensitive nuclear activities. The U.S. and its allies suspect Iran's are aimed at developing atomic weapons, not generating electricity, as Tehran insists. The Siberian weather affecting northern and central China is causing coal and power shortages as households ramp up the heat. A spike in electricity use has hit coal supplies at power plants. Some power stations in central China are down to about 3 days' reserves, and the price of the fossil fuel was rapidly rising. Coal producers in the north have been charging customers up to 25% more per ton than usual. The strain is beginning to show on the nation's power grid. The eastern city of Shanghai and provinces of Jiangsu, Shandong, and Hubei cut power to some areas as they ration electricity. Early on Wednesday morning, temperatures in Beijing fell to almost 0 degrees Fahrenheit, the lowest in the capital since 1971. Forecasters with the China Meteorological Administration have said the cold weather would continue through the week. Staying with the cold, but on a happier note now, the 26th Harbin International Ice and Snow Sculpture Festival has kicked off in the northeastern city. The annual event showcases some of the best national and international ice sculptors who light up their creations with electric lights encased in ice. Tuesday night's opening ceremony featured a brilliant fireworks display. Amongst this year's exhibits are fairy tale palaces, towering pagodas, and even an Egyptian sphinx, all carved painstakingly from ice. The United States has levied additional duties of 43 to 289% on imports of more than $300 million worth of a steel product from China. The U.S. Commerce Department said the action against Chinese-made wire decking was because it was being sold at unfairly low prices. Last week, the U.S. International Trade Commission approved duties ranging from 10 to 16% on around $2.74 billion worth of Chinese-made oil, well tubing, and casing. China has become the world's top merchandise exporter. It took over the title from Germany in 2009, according to the latest figures. Geneva-based Global Trade Information Services said China exported $957 billion of goods in the first 10 months of 2009, compared with $917 billion for Germany. China will publish its own trade figures for the full year next week. China's emergence as the world's largest exporter was widely expected. Annual growth in its exports regularly exceeding 20% during the past decade. In 2007, China overtook Germany as the world's third largest national economy and is on track to soon surpass Japan to become the second largest economy after the U.S. And that's the BON headlines for now, but we'll be back with more news after this.